alleges. Next, we will demonstrate how the modern proponents of the Jesus myth theory and sources behind Zeitgeist and Acharya S.'s work are typically advocates of Freemasonry, Theosophy, and the New Age, which are all very similar belief systems whose goal, like that of the Zeitgeist movement, is the elimination of Christianity and a utopian society or paradise as presented in the Zeitgeist Addendum film. In one of her online articles entitled The Gospel According to Acharya S., she states, "Perhaps the devil brings peace and not a sword to humanity. Considering how many people have been killed in the name of God and not the devil, maybe the world is worshiping the wrong entity." She also writes, "The devil is divine." Also cited in Zeitgeist are Godfrey Higgins, Albert Churchwood, cited 6 times, and Manly P. Hall, cited 5 times, which were all members of the Freemasons' secret society. Manly P. Hall, a 33rd degree Mason, wrote on page 48 of his book, Lost Keys of Freemasonry, "When a Mason learns that the key is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, the seething energies of Lucifer are in his hands." Lucifer is a name frequently given to Satan in Christian belief. The usage as reference to a fallen angel stems from a particular passage in the Bible, Isaiah chapter 14, that speaks of someone who is given the name of day star or morning star as fallen from heaven. In Latin, the word Lucifer is the name for the morning star, the planet Venus in its dawn appearance. Though it seems Acharya S. ignorantly and lightly poses the hypothetical of worshiping the devil and the devil bringing peace to humanity, her sources, such as Manly P. Hall, H. P. Blavatsky, and Albert Pike, are much more bold in their allegiance to the devil, Satan, or Lucifer. They not only believed in the devil, but committed their work to the fallen angel, Satan, and his lies. Another Freemason quoted frequently by Acharya S. in the Christ Conspiracy is Albert Pike, who is considered one of the best interpreters of all Masonic ritual. He held the highest office in Scottish Rite Masonry and rewrote all Scottish Rite rituals, which are practiced today. Pike is best known for his work Morals and Dogma, which is found in the bibliography of Acharya's book. He said, "The Masonic religion should be, by all of us initiates of the high degrees, maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine. If Lucifer were not God, would Adonai, the God of the Christians, and his priests calumniate him? Yes, Lucifer is God, and unfortunately Adonai is also God. The true and pure philosophic religion is the belief in Lucifer, the equal Adonai. But Lucifer, God of light and God of gods, is struggling for humanity against Adonai, the God of darkness and evil." Besides Acharya S., who quotes Gerald Massey in her work, Massey is the main source for Zeitgeist, being 30 times in the film. Though Acharya S. relies upon Massey's work to support much of her ideas and conclusions, Massey was not a trained Egyptologist, and his work was never recognized in the field of Egyptology. His ideas, like Acharya's, are fringe theories that lack critical support. Gerald Massey is known for his works such as The Historical and Mythical Christ. He was also a practicing Druid and a Theosophist who wrote for the Theosophical magazine entitled Lucifer, published by H. P. Blavatsky. H. P. Blavatsky, another source cited by Zeitgeist and Acharya S., was an occultist and mystic. She is the author of The Secret Doctrine and the founder of the Theosophical Society, a blend of Eastern religion, occult speculation, and Gnostic interpretation of Christianity. In the words of J. H. Russell, part of its teachings are, "All life is being fundamentally one with the life of the Supreme Existence." The Pasadena, California office of the Theosophy Society explains, "A primary idea is the essential oneness of all beings. Life is everywhere throughout the cosmos because all originates from the same unknowable divine source." These ideas are repeated in the Zeitgeist movement.
The Zeitgeist movement, in fact, is the activist arm of the Venus Project.
The solution to the faltering global economy offered by Zeitgeist Addendum is the Venus Project. Venus, also known as the morning star, is also synonymous with Lucifer. In The Secret Doctrine, Blavatsky wrote, Lucifer is divine and terrestrial light, the Holy Ghost and Satan at one and the same time. She also wrote, "And now it stands proven that Satan, or the red fiery dragon, the lord of phosphorus, and Lucifer, or light bearer, is in us. It is our mind, our redeemer, our intelligent liberator and savior from pure animalism." Just as Zeitgeist and Acharya S. cite much of their material from H.P. Blavatsky, the Nazi movement was also founded on Theosophy and Blavatsky's writing. Blavatsky's book, The Secret Doctrine, which is cited by Acharya S. in the film Zeitgeist, was known to be an inspiration to Adolf Hitler, specifically towards his ideas about superior and inferior races. In section 3 of Blavatsky's book, The Key of Theosophy, she wrote of the three objects of Theosophy. 1. To form the nucleus of a universal brotherhood of humanity without distinction of race, color, or creed. 2. To promote the study of Aryan and other scriptures of the world's religion and sciences. She also writes, "The Theosophical Society is not then a political organization? Certainly not. It is international in the highest sense in that its members comprise men and women of all races, creeds, and forms of thought, who work together for one object, the improvement of humanity, but as a society it takes absolutely no part in any national or party politics." Notice the similarity in the objects of the Zeitgeist movement, stated by Peter Joseph.
The Zeitgeist movement is not a political movement. It does not recognize divisionary notions such as nations, governments, races, religions, creeds, or class. Rather, we see the world as one organism, with the human species as a singular family. What the Venus Project represents and what the Zeitgeist movement hence condones could be summarized as the application of the scientific method for social concern.
Today, the modern New Age revival can be traced back to H.P. Blavatsky and the founding of the Theosophical Society. Blavatsky's prize pupil, Alice Bailey, developed Blavatsky's teachings into an organized system and coined the term New Age. Bailey taught that humanity must achieve enlightenment by realizing its divinity. Bailey's teachings are kept alive today by the Lucis Trust. The organization was originally called the Lucifer Publishing Company, according to a statement on their website, because Bailey considered Lucifer, the fallen angel, a positive principle, as did H.P. Blavatsky, whom they cite as a great teacher. Though Acharya S. is not a practicing Theosophist, Freemason, or Druid like her sources, she does demonstrate loyalty to the New Age movement, which is no different. On page 416 of the Christ Conspiracy, she says, "Despite the vilification of the so-called New Age movement, the fact is that we are entering into a new age. The age referred to in the gospel tale is that of Pisces, and through contrivance and duplicity, coercion and slaughter, the fish god Jesus, the Piscean solar avatar, has indeed been with us. But now it is the close of the age, and his time is over. As Hancock says, we live today in the astrological no man's land at the end of the age of Pisces, on the threshold of the new age." The Zeitgeist movie opens with a quote from Jordan Maxwell's Inner World of the Occult.
The more you begin to investigate what we think we understand, where we came from, what we think we're doing, the more you begin to see we've been lied to.
Maxwell was also heavily influenced by H.P. Blavatsky and Theosophy.
Helena Petrovna Blavatsky?
Right.
Yes, I have all of her works. I think her best work was Isis Unveiled, Part 2, which is theology.
Right. Science.
And that was an exceptional work. I think that Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, the Russian mystic, was a very wise and preceptive lady. Manly Palmer Hall, one of my very good friends. Manly Palmer Hall, one of my very good friends.
This main authority behind Zeitgeist and proponent of the New Age, Jordan Maxwell, believes he was put here by aliens to start his own religion. He is also one of Acharya's sources for the Christ Conspiracy.
2 white glowing objects came in very slow. They were not flying as such. They appeared to be just electronically or magnetically floating. And as they floated overhead, 5 more came in behind them. And at that point, I totally went ballistic. I decided to rent a convertible and drive back up to Area 51 by myself, and no one knew this, and go back out to where we had this experience by myself, which I did. About a month later, now we're at the beginning of summer, I get a phone call from Paul, my publisher, who lives in Escondido, right down by San Diego. And he's telling me about this young lady who was a past life regressionist. And he said, you got to go see this girl, she's sensational. And she says, well, and I'm just telling you what she said. She said, they are Pleiadians, and they have brought you here to do something. And you are ultimately going to be a emissary, was the word, an emissary for them. They're going to channel through you. They're going to use you, and they will speak through you.
In the end, the most relevant change must occur first inside of you. The real revolution is the revolution of consciousness, and each one of us first needs to eliminate the divisionary, materialistic noise we have been conditioned to think is true, while discovering, amplifying, and aligning with the signal coming from our true empirical oneness. It is up to you.
That depends on you and not somebody else. You yourself are the teacher and the pupil, you are the master, you are the guru, you are the leader. You are everything.
Freemasonry, Theosophy, the New Age, and Zeitgeist movements all represent a relentless quest towards self-deification and the integration of all knowledge and spirituality in order to create a utopian society where all is one and one is all. The Bible is also in a head-on collision with this movement because, in contrast, it teaches that all is not one, all is not God, and human beings are not God. The Zeitgeist movement and Venus Project Utopia theoretically eliminates this problem of sin and human depravity, saying, essentially, that sin, evil, and crime is not caused by free will of individuals, but is a product of society, circumstantial experiences, and money.
There is no such thing as a criminal. As repeatedly expressed, the monetary system generates corruption by its very construct. As far as society today, the most fundamental condition for offensive behavior is derived from the monetary system.
In contrast, the Bible teaches that humanity's crises stem from the evil and sin of humankind. The Zeitgeist movement blames money for offensive behavior, whereas the Bible teaches the love of money is the root of all evil, bringing the cause of sin back to the individual's free will and choice. The doctrines of these movements forever removes any possible fellowship with Christians. The only obvious solution to this problem is the eradication of Christianity, as Acharya S. reveals on page 416 of her book, quoting Zeitgeist source Edward Carpenter. As for Christianity's role in this new age, Carpenter states, Christianity, therefore, as I say, must either now come frankly forward and, acknowledging its parentage from the great order of the past, seek to rehabilitate that and carry mankind one step forward in the path of evolution, or else it must perish. There is no alternative.